Hi, it's Richard back again, here at the start of the Lodz scenario. Now, before I get into the strategic layout of the map, I wanted to talk more about why you should care about strategically assessing maps at deployment, and as you play through the game, focusing on how is the strategy going. And I think the easiest way to explain this is to talk about my experiences playing chess and observing other players. So, a typical story is you see a kid leave the tournament hall after playing a chess game, and a coach or a friend or a parent or a teammate goes up to him and asks, well, how did the game go? And you'll see this kind of response all the time. Oh, I lost a piece. I put my king on the wrong square. I pushed the wrong pawn in an endgame, and that's why I lost. There'll be some variant of, I made a silly move and then I lost tactically. And so if the friend or the coach asks them, well, let's go over the game and kind of explore it to see what was happening, you will hear a lot of people say, we don't need to go over the game because I lost from tactics. And all I have to do to avoid that problem in the future is study more tactics. And then I'm ready to play chess at a higher level. And the problem with this, if you study chess at a higher level, the way I have studied chess, you start to realize many tactical mistakes are actually coming from mistakes made from strategic errors and some positional misunderstandings. You dropped your piece because you set yourself up for it, because you didn't put your piece on a good square to begin with. You got checkmated when you castled because you were castling in an attack with 6 pieces aimed at your king. Or if you lost material in an exchange, it wasn't because you miscalculated, it was because you put your pieces in bad squares. And it made it easier for your opponent to set up a tactic to beat you with. And so how this relates to Panzer Corps is if I watch a lot of people play on YouTube or read some commentary in the Slytherin forums, it feels like many times people will talk about how the fatal error was they just put the wrong unit on the wrong hex, and that's why a bad result happened. Or they'll say something like, if I hadn't had such a bad dice roll, it could have changed the whole outcome of a sequence of actions. And what I'm not going to claim is that that's not true. But in many cases, I'm not convinced that tells the whole story. So sometimes if you watch the Doctor's videos, for instance, he pulls off these wild tactics, and we all ooh and ah over it, like we're staring at an exotic animal in a zoo. But I often wonder, were these exotic tactics necessary if the Doctor was thinking bigger picture from the beginning and a little bit more accurately with local strategic concepts? It's not that I think the Doctor is bad at strategy, but I do wonder sometimes in his playthrough, is he just doing these wild things to kind of like show off his skill? Or is it just a way to bail himself out of bad strategy? And I think only he could probably answer that question. But I don't want to unload on the Doctor all the way, because he's a better player than I am, and I think he contributed a lot to Panzer Corps as a game. But you can look at some other Let's Players. If I look at Lieutenant Joker's games, for instance, he has almost a careless disregard for vision at times. And it feels like to me strategically he might need to start assuming that because he doesn't have perfect vision that caution is advised. Maybe recklessly advancing isn't such a good idea. And maybe you could argue that's not a strategic concept, that's a tactical concept. But we're just entering the minutiae of whether an issue is tactical or strategic. Often they're related to each other. But I think a lot of people, when they play the game, they look at a move and they just see this very narrow, simplistic. I lost on the dice roll, or if only I had put my infantry in the forest instead of on an open hex, it would have made a different outcome. And I'm not so sure it's that simple. For instance, I remember watching a video of deductors where the ground was frozen. It was one of these Russian scenarios, and it was the spring. And because the ground was frozen, he felt very comfortable with troop placement. And then the ground unfroze, and it caused a lot of issues with coordination. And to me, it just felt like if you're aware of the dynamic weather conditions, it might be possible to better place your units in anticipation of the ground unfreezing, which changes river play dramatically. But it's also possible that I'm just totally wrong about this, and that these maps are too complicated to really build a plan to take into account dynamic weather effects. I don't know if that's really true, but he might make the argument he did the best that he could. So I want to talk about this map at a strategic level, and there's some interesting things about it. I'm going to bring back Deductor again, because he says something hilarious to me. When he opens up this map, he's like, I gotta go to Lodz. I know I can't go up north because there's a major counterattack up here, as we're warned about in the messaging. But what's interesting to me about that is, for somebody who has explored this game in such intimate detail, how could he have such a blind spot on a map? I could kind of understand that he would be hesitant on a blind playthrough to just shove his forces up here. It's very forested and it's heavy. But for someone who's played the game so much and he's played scenarios multiple times, it's just bizarre that it never occurred to him that you could approach Lodz from a totally different direction. And we'll get into that. But that's just a simple example of where, in my opinion, Deductor makes a strategic error. And I think it was a very basic strategic error. Almost like a willful blindness to the idea that there's more to this map than meets the eye. I will acknowledge this idea was not mine. I think it was Lieutenant Joker's. I think he was the one that was like, oh, I could just go north and do all kinds of crazy things. I have made many modifications to this plan. But before I talk about this plan, let's talk about what we're dealing with. The message is saying we have to attack Lodz. We need to break it because it's important for the defense. We find out there's some units that found a rail line. They kind of got isolated out there. They want us to use this constructed rail line to hit Lodz from the rear. So if we look at this map, we see a lot of things actually. Look at this. We have a scout car here and a C4, so there's all this infantry. And we have there's some Panzer tanks and a scout car. And we can see a strong point. That's we can see there's a fortress. So they're telling us that Lodz up front is heavily fortified, and that they recommend that we go around. And I think most people, the first time they played this game, have some rather basic ways they can do this. Excuse me. The first time I played this map, I thought, look at the airfield situation. I have an airfield over here. I have an airfield here. I have an airfield here. And I have an airfield here. You know, how in the heck can I send my Air Force over here without seizing this airfield? Because they're just gonna get over there and they're gonna have to leave and come all the way back. It's not even practical. And especially with Deductor's mod with less fuel, it's even less practical than before. So you have this idea, oh, we're going to aggressively attack this spot. We're going to very easily be able to take this airfield, and we're going to have our armor sit around here, fending off the hordes of units coming from the east. And then the tactical bombers are going to arrive and lay waste to the counterattack, right? This plan does work mostly pretty consistently. I don't want to totally diss it. But it's riskier than a lot of other plans. You can only afford to lose 2 of your 5 units. If you look, decisive victory is capture all objectives and at least 3 auxiliary units survive. And a marginal victory is capture at least 3 objectives. So you can try this plan. You can grab the airfield, hold on to it as long as possible so your planes can refuel, bomb the hell out of them with your air force. And it works even better if you buy a new tactical bomber that has good stats. And then the whole idea is you're going to take your main force, you're going to shove your way this way to help relieve them. And you can look at this map and you can believe pretty strongly that this can fall, right? And you already have scouting information on this strong point. There's basically 2 infantry units. There's no reason to believe the bulk of your forces are not going to be able to plow through here, and march up the road and start hitting things in the back. And if things are too scary at Lodz, you could get a marginal victory by just seizing this location and this location. And you could go home and say, a job well done. I've played this scenario a lot. And for a while, that's basically what I did. I just seized the airfield and I waited for the Air Force to arrive to bomb the hell out of everything. And then the bulk of my forces came over and helped seize this area. For a marginal victory, this plan is sufficient and is actually very strong. This map is challenging because I want a decisive victory. So a decisive victory is I have to save 3 units and all of these objectives, all 5 of them. In fact, none of these objectives over here are a part of that decisive victory. This is a very important point. This objective looks like I'm going to be able to take it. It's not going to be a problem. This is Lodz, heavily fortified. We're warned we're not supposed to attack it in front. These objectives are probably defended, but maybe not as heavily as Lodz, so in theory we could sweep back here, take all this, and maybe hit Lodz in the back. I mean, that's what the report's telling me. And I actually had a very simplistic view of this map. And then I saw Lieutenant Joker play this map, and he's just like, oh, I'm just going to go up here and take these objectives and sneak in the back. Crazy, right? This plan is remarkably effective. I just want to say that right off the bat. Could a person think of this? Actually, yes. You know that you've been told don't attack Lodz up front because of the fortifications, attack it in the rear. Well, they didn't say how to attack it in the rear. Well, they did, but, if there's one way to attack around the rear, there could be another way to attack around the rear. One of the issues, of course, with the plan recommended by whoever gave you the report is, and I think Lieutenant Joker and Bracada spent quite a bit of time talking about this, mountainous regions, forested regions. It's really dangerous to move units this way because there could be a counterattack that comes in. Stick a tank on a hill and it gets blown up by infantry. Countryside, I mean, there's just all kinds of there's this terrain it's just going to make it slow. And you're going to be fighting your way up here. And then you're going to get really annoyed because you have to split your forces to grab all these objectives, right? This plan, to me, is bad advice. Look at where my forces are. They're way over here. If I look at the strategic map, they're way over here. I have 13 turns to take all of these guys and shove them over here and then sneak in the north and then take a heavily fortified Lodz from the back. It sounds good in principle, but time is of the essence. So some of you at this point would be asking, well, if time is of the essence, how in the hell is going up north and sneaking around in the back that way better? And weren't we warned that there was a buildup? Somewhere. Didn't they say so? Oh yeah, it says right up here, retake the city of Conan, which is here. They've retaken this, right? So there's some sort of Polish buildup that's potentially coming, and we need to hurry and take Lodz from the back. But in theory, I could at least sneak in this way, right? Like I could just go north, go here, and then sneak in the back. And what's great about that is I can hit them from the back. Maybe you have heavily fortified areas and the artillery's on the other side of the river. So you might be able to take out the artillery from the back as well. So, this looks slow though, right? I mean, didn't they spend like the last couple of scenarios complaining about forested regions and slow movement? And this is a heavily forested regions. There's hills. How could this possibly be faster? It actually does work pretty well. So the idea is I'm going to sneak up here and I'm going to grab these locations. This force is going to move. Some of my force is going to move this way, bail these guys out, and then sneak up here. Part of the reason it works so well is because I have less junk clogging up the roadways in this region. And it's just easier to make steady advancements because there's less junk in the way. However, you're gonna hear a crazy thing from me. Nobody's ever done this on this map, which surprises me because I can't be the only contrarian to have ever played this game. You know, how many people are given orders and they're like, I want to do the exact opposite of what the orders are? I honestly didn't think this would work. I thought that there was serious consequences to trying to do what I'm about to do. Part of the problem with either plan, you know, completely commit this way, sneak up and hit it in the back, or sneak up this way and hit Lodz in the back, is it's time consuming. I find it extremely risky. You will feel under intense pressure on the turn limit. It's seriously going to impact your comfort zone, even for very experienced players. But what I've discovered is that the pressure is relieved if you ignore this area and immediately send the bulk of your forces to Lodz. And some of you are probably getting confused. What do you mean send them to Lodz? They warn you, do not attack Lodz from the front. That's correct. However, what the commander couldn't take into account is this bad boy. An 88 gun is an anti-aircraft, anti-tank weapon. It is most famously known for its ability to take out incredibly powerful tanks. And even at Deductor's mod, it's pretty powerful. Even in 1942, it has its opportunities to shine. By 43, it's pretty much exclusively an anti-aircraft weapon. You should also know that it wasn't that great against shooting down planes, so he has a penalty on it. It will protect your stuff from planes, but it's not going to be as overpowered as in the original game. But he did not change anything about its combat effectiveness on the ground. The other thing people don't realize about the 88 gun is it's a fortress killer. I find that if I use this appropriately against fortresses, it mows them down. It's almost as effective as Pioneers, and I can't afford Pioneers right now. So I'm going to kind of use it as a Pioneer substitute. But here's the thing about 88 guns compared to Pioneers. They're extremely vulnerable to ground attacks and air attacks, you know, when it's in its anti-tank mode. So it's very important that when you use this, you are very protective of it. Otherwise, it will get badly damaged. So my plan is to do something a little wild. I've done some variants of this, but the one that seems to work the best is I'm going to pull everybody back. I actually think this is a rational thing to do. I imagine most commanders will look at the situation. You can see they're surrounded by enemies. These aren't great tanks. If we go over here and look at this, we've got a couple of Panzer IIs. Those are okay, but 2 Panzer Is and a scout car. These Panzer Is, I mean, they're garbage, right? They're not even experienced. They're just garbage. So, you know, I tell the guys, great job. You discovered the secretly built rail line. Get the hell out of there. So the plan is going to be, I'm going to completely abandon this position. I feel very comfortable doing that. This has nothing that is strategically important to me. All of my objectives are in the back of Lodz. And my plan is I'm going to build a screen of armor right here. And I'm going to shove everything that I can that's not going north. I'm going to shove everything I can, come over here, and blast away on the fortifications. Now, some of you are like, isn't that bad? Well, normally yes, but there's some weird stuff going on with the fortifications. And actually, you don't have to have known this map to immediately recognize the vulnerabilities. Mostly because you're going to have a scout car. This guy's going to abandon this region and go this way. You're going to get a ton of vision on what's going on here. This force is rapidly going to move this way. And it wouldn't be totally insane for a blind player to say, wait a minute, what if I just attack at this critical point and break down the fortifications and flood in? And, you know, I plan on flooding into Lodz very directly, and then like units can start creeping around and getting back here. It doesn't look, it looks insane now, but when you get vision and when you start to see things, it's a lot less insane. But then you're going, well, wait a minute, how are you dealing with this counterattack? Well, I'm going to build a wall of armor, basically, and it's going to be all of these auxiliary units who are very expendable. I purposely bought another artillery unit because I need it. One artillery unit is going to go north to help me take this out. And the other artillery units are rapidly going to come over here and be a part of a huge wall. So, you know, I'm going to have this artillery, and then I'm going to have a wall of armor, and then I'm going to sneak in key units to help seize this location. I want to seize this. I want to break through here as quickly as possible. By breaking through here as quickly as possible and getting units to kind of sneak around, I want them to eventually link up with my northern force. Their objective is to grab this stuff, hit here, split up, and hit here and then here. Maybe link up with these guys, depending on the timing. The timing's somewhat delicate, but it's more flexible than you think. And eventually we'll grab this spot. That looks a little crazy and it seems ridiculous, especially since if you look at the map, there's forests literally everywhere. But there's roads. Just something to think about. The roads don't follow the normal rules. I can just move troops this way. So I'll definitely bring a towed truck. One thing I didn't think about, because I didn't get an SE unit, they do not have trucks. That's a problem, isn't it? I'm already short a unit. That's interesting. I usually bring my SE unit with this guy because he has transportation. Because I need them to move up the road as quickly as possible. Oh, that's something I didn't think about. Because I need 2 infantry to kind of. I plan on splitting the infantry once I get up here. And if I bring him, if I look at this map, the most north this guy could go is here. He'll attack here, turn 1. 1, 2, 3. He'll go here, turn 2. 1, 2, 3. He'll go here, turn 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn 4. 1, 2, 3. Turn 5. 1, 2, 3, turn 6. 1, 2, turn 7. I might be able to make this work. It's just going to be a little harder. That's going to be interesting. I have to update my plans. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to bring an artillery unit I need mobile infantry here. Bring a fresh infantry here, and I need my scout car. I want my scout car to follow up and grab locations. Technically, if you're playing this blind, you don't know what's up here, but by putting my scout car here, I'm going to get vision immediately on this area. And the scout car is going to go up, and it's going to tell me what's over here. And the bottom line is, if I don't see a lot of heavy fortifications, I'm going to assume I can take them. So I think it's pretty close to a rational plan. I don't think it's as magical as it looks at first. I don't have enough prestige to buy a truck for this, so I have to think about that. Turn 1, it goes here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is going to be interesting. I'm going to try to make it work. I'm gonna try to do something badass. We'll see how it goes. Wait, oh yeah. Let's take that. We need our Air Force for sure. No, probably. Yeah, I need my. Where's my scout plane? There we go. No, I want my anti-tank. I don't know where I want that yet. Okay. Let's take that. I need more artillery. Here. And I need more infantry. And I actually have deployed all of my slots. So my plan as a review is I'm going to defy my orders, and I'm going to plow through Lodz up front using the power of my 88 gun. I'm going to send 3 artillery units over, build a wall of armor, back everything up with artillery, cross here, and start filtering my way up. And I plan on breaking these fortifications twice, and it opens up a lot of space when I do so. Actually, I think the fortifications are here. This northern group, this little, almost Guderian-esque little group, is just going to go north and go out, grab everything. And we're going to go here and grab this objective and see where we are. An infantry is going to go over here. Probably my scout car even will go over here. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do with my scout car, but I might need my scout car. My artillery is going to sneak in here and help take this objective. And then another infantry is going to go here and help take this objective. And hopefully, by the time this is all happening, I will have broken through Lodz and I can begin slowly gobbling things up. If time permits, and it usually does if I have an SE unit, I can start making my move here. This is a timing issue, and it's kind of complicated because it depends on the speed at which I defeat the enemy units coming. And there's a lot of them. But I have 5 armored units. There's a lot that you can do with those guys, especially with backing artillery. So I'm just going to start. I've deployed. We got clear weather. I'm not even going to go and kill this guy. I'm just abandoning. Oh, wait. Can I keep him out of it? Yeah. I'm gonna not put him on a hill because he just feels like if I put a tank on a hill, I might as well just give up. Oh, wait a minute, there's a hill right here. That's hilarious. I'll put the Panzer 1 on a hill, and I'm just gonna get out of here. There's some other sneaky things you can do, but you only can do those things if you haven't played them. If you've already played the map a lot. And I'm trying to make it seem like I'm blind. So we see this objective, and I'm like, hey, what's over there? Actually, I'm curious what's over here first. So I'm gonna go. Oh, couldn't go there. I see artillery in the back, and I'm going to hit it. Let's suppress this guy. It's fully suppressed. I'm going to move him up and hit him. and then move him up. I purposely placed my artillery so that I could use all of them on the first turn. Almost fully suppressed. Where's my good tactical bomber? Do me proud. That was a good hit. I'm really happy with that. He's now way less entrenched. He's at, if I were to, I think it's alt right click. Oh, well. I'm sure the rugged defense chance was really low. This is almost dead. That's great. I'm gonna actually hit this artillery piece. And now his artillery piece is at 1 strength and an infantry at 1 strength. So that whole, this is about to break already. I don't even think he's gonna fire a shot with that. I'm curious about this region. And I'm sending my scout car, or my scout plane to check it out, and there's nothing there. So I can send my anti-tank gun to go grab it. This infantry is just immediately gonna start moving in. I'm not really in a hurry. Well, I could try baiting it. These are so badly damaged, actually. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. This infantry, for instance, isn't going to be able to damage me. And I don't think a 1-strength artillery is going to damage my more heavily armored car. Alright. Let us begin. He is fully suppressed, so I'm going to hit you with my mobile unit. That frees up this infantry to move up. Scout car follows behind. There's a reason I have the scout car. It's got more movement too, so despite the annoying issues with the forest, it's got more mobility than you think. Okay, let's scout. We don't see anything so far. I am not attacking that infantry. I think that is just a stupid idea. Alright, let's see what the AI does. So the AI is making its move. Hey, special reinforcement has arrived. It's a mountain unit, so it's already really awesome. It's got 3 initiative, but if you look at its hero, its initiative is 3 and its movement is 3. This guy has 6 initiative. It's really overpowered. The most powerful unit in the game, I think. I will name it. Come back. So look at how much it can move, and it's a mountain unit right now, so only forest and bocage I think affected. I could send this all the way up here already, and I will. Well, oh yeah, I need to take this. I'm gonna do this. It's not fully suppressed, but I think I can get away with this. Yeah. I want to take this out. It's suppressed. I think my mountain unit can take this out. And then you're going to take this out. I didn't move this yet because I want to move it already. Okay. let me figure out where these guys can go. You're gonna go here. I know it's in the forest, but that's okay. You're gonna go here, and the reason I put it there is I'm trying to block access to units I'm gonna shove over here. And by the way, by sending my scout car to the north, look at the vision I got. Notice there's no artillery protecting the fortifications. So it makes me even more inclined to do this. You can see these guys are entrenched at 5. That's super annoying, but I think it's something my Air Force and artillery can fix. And this guy doesn't even have artillery protection. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no artillery here. So it's just very interesting. You know, like, it's not unreasonable for a person to play this blind and not think that they could approach this up front. I'm putting things in bad spots, but this infantry didn't attack me last turn, so I'm assuming it's on passive. I think that's a reasonable assumption. I'm gonna hit this to reduce this entrenchment. Perfect. Now with mass attack, I should be able to kill this. And I was, in fact, able to kill this. This is great. I have so much armor in the way, it's really safe for me to move this here. Info. What can they see? 3? So, 1, 2, 3. They see this, right? So the only thing they see is a Panzer 1 in the woods and a scout car in the woods. That's bad, but at least it's auxiliary units. So, yeah, I'm not going to attack there. So, you know, if they want to attack these guys, that's okay. Let me send you there. And send you there. I normally don't get an attack on this on the second turn. I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see I know there's nothing here, right? So I'm just gonna send this up north. And due to the power of my scouting car, 1, 2, 3, 4, over this huge radius, I don't see anything. And it's interesting because they tell you that there's this huge buildup from Conan. But so far you don't see anything. This makes it seem like if you were poking your nose and you're just curious, can I swing around that way? It makes it seem like the answer is yes. So, both of my infantry will be able to attack this next turn. And I'm going to park my artillery here and take a pot shot and then move on with it. I plan on moving very quickly. You know, in my hope that in Poland's arrogance, they just didn't defend this area. The next order of business, I don't see a whole lot. This river here, there could be stuff hiding here. But to be honest with you, it would be very strange for units to be hiding in a heavily forested area. It's very difficult to move out of it. And I have scouting of 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There's nothing here, right? So even if there were units sitting beyond my scouting range, they have to move through this heavy forest. So it's really difficult to do that. So the next thing I'm thinking about is I think it would be very safe to move my units here. Mostly because this forest is protecting my northern flank. We know there's a massive counterattack coming this way, but I've got a whole bunch of armor in the way. Due to zone of control, which is basically this idea that you can't just use all your movement cleanly as you're going around units. They have to kind of go an extra little way around units. Due to zone of control, none of these units back here are in danger unless there's a scout car. But I also know the AI doesn't know how to use scout cars. So it's, you know, my anti-tank is out of vision, but even if it was in vision, nothing can get here. And we know from the scout car, from being over here, there's just nothing that has the mobility to reach over here. So then there's just a question of, could something come out of Lodz? And I'm not really buying that. I have a river here, and if they want to go on the river and attack me, they could. but that's kind of a silly thing to do. So I'm going to park this here to set up the idea that I'm going in to attack this fortification. And then I need to move my artillery now. I can definitely park you here. This is super safe. And you can go here. And you are gonna go here. I don't have a truck. That's affecting some things, but. And then you're gonna go here. So I'm bringing up. I have 2 mountain units. They can help me assault these fortifications. They're pretty powerful. What can I do with this position? I have a scout plane, but I don't like using it here. I'm gonna actually just refuel. I just don't have anything good to attack with it. And that's everything. Okay. It's rather surprising the infantry didn't attack. Now you can see there's a bunch of units coming in. I'm bailing out just in time. So I'm going to park you here. I'm actually out of vision range on this spot, so if these guys want to keep their aggressive moves going, they might run into him. I'm going to move my 88 gun up. I'm going to move him up. I'm going to put infantry, my mountain troops in the forest. I'm going to put my Panzer 1 right here. Then I'm going to put my scout car right here. I'm just moving everybody in position. My infantry can grab the spot. My tank can come here and protect my artillery. Oh, wait a minute. I might want to just use my Panzer 1 for that. Okay. And then my anti-tank can move up. Like, the AI can't even see that. My mountain unit can protect my flank here. There's nothing here. And now they say you are strongly advised to bypass the fortified defenses in front of Lodz instead of attacking from head on. And I'm gonna prove them wrong. Let's get my infantry. Actually, I might want my infantry this way. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put with that guy. I'm gonna move you into the city. Oop. It looks like I'm gonna need a truck for that. Okay, you go there. And I have a little bit of help. How bad is this? Can anybody reach that? Yeah, I'm gonna actually hit it with my plane. At minimum, it's reducing the entrenchment, which is a good thing. I don't mind I took a damage there, actually. Because it cleared it out that turn. I don't have a lot of time to waste. I know 4 spaces ahead is clear. Let's find out what's up here. I spy the tankette over here. There's nothing here. So... I'll put the artillery on the road. I can't hit this next turn anyway. Okay. I have a plane that can move. Can it reach anything? Maybe. Maybe. I want to take this fortification out, so I'm going to hit it with artillery. I'm also reducing its entrenchment. 1 suppression, okay. Rugged defense is highly unlikely. What plane is this? I'll take my scout plane, who I don't care about, and I'm going to bomb it in the air. And now there's no chance of a rugged defense. So I wiped out half of its strength. That's okay. I don't feel the need to get bonkers with this. There's no chance of a rugged defense though. Really good hit. Now I'm gonna kill it. To only take 1 damage on a Panzer 1 from that. So, first part of the plan worked on turn 3. I defeated this fortress, and this allows my 88 gun to move in here and attack this fortress. And by attacking both fortresses, I'm opening up hexes. The other thing I need to think about, I have a lot of vision. I'm kind of glad I brought the scout plane over. Anti-aircraft gun, it has a range of 2, which means to hit my scout plane, this guy would have to move and de-entrench himself. I don't think he will, because he's in a major victory hex. This artillery piece has a range of 2, and this one has a range of 3. So 1, 2, 3. He can see me, he could hit me. But it's only 5 strength, so that may not like hurt me too badly. And this artillery piece can't hit this. It could move up and hit this, but he would have to de-entrench an infantry unit to make it work. I do see there's a counterattack coming, but I'm not as worried about that as you might think I should be. So I'm just going to protect my stuff. I have, as you can see, a wall of armor. I already moved him. Okay. And I don't need to move you, actually. Oh, I have this guy. Honestly, I would rather just let him refuel and be useful next turn. I know there's all this stuff coming, so I can use the plane when it gets to where I'm at. He didn't attack. Interesting. The artillery's there, that's the problem. Well, that's really interesting. This is unusual. Well, I'm gonna just attack you. Didn't do anything, that's okay. Well, I have to take that out, don't I? Yeah. I want him out of here so I can move my anti-tank in. Or, I mean, my 88 gun. Because believe it or not, speed is important. Did I get any good suppression? It's not good enough. Okay. I'm gonna kill this then. This guy isn't very useful here, is he? I'm gonna send him north. I'm gonna have no choice but to put my infantry on an open hex. It's a good infantry though. That does make a difference. Does mass attack help? No. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go grab this. I actually got enough prestige to get a truck for my artillery, which I shall get, because I realize I need it badly. Okay. Next stop, let's find out what's here. Infantry. Actually, no. I will try to bait the AI to come out and attack me. It will not work. I'm gonna... Come on. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna bring him back. I have stuff to do, but the question is, what do I do? This guy could go here. Do I attack? Yeah, let's attack. I'm attacking with the weakest unit because it has mass attack bonus. I'm going to attack again. This is going well. And I'm going to attack with my scout. And then I will move my infantry up. Now it's in the forest. And then what? Now I have to think about positioning. I think... I don't want to put any of my tanks forward because these anti-tank guns are going to come up and attack them. And there's infantry that can attack them in the forest. I'm less concerned about my elite mountain troops on an open hex because there's double artillery protection. So I think nothing will attack them. These are on a hill. Do I attack it? It's just not good. I need to move him. I'm gonna move him out of the way, and then I'm gonna shove my infantry up. So you can see I'm building a really nice wall. So the armor bought me time for my units to catch up. I'm gonna keep this tank here, I think. He has enough vision, he can see everything. Yeah. What would I even do with this? I'm not ready to sacrifice units yet. Do I dare attack this? I don't think so. Not yet. So I've got my wall. I'm still waiting for the AI to make things official where it's attacking. Oh, okay. That went poorly for the AI. Okay. I think I might be able to do quite a few things this turn. Okay. Despite the fact the AI could see my units, this tankette did not come down. That's a good thing. Well, wait a minute. He's less flexible, so... I'm gonna send him here. Send him here. It doesn't appear there's anything up here, so I'm risking it, but I think it's all fine. I intend to kill this unit with what? I'll use you. I unfortunately have to use my artillery on this and reduce its entrenchment. I really need to break this position as fast as possible. Five. Where is my plane? Not where he needs to be. Okay, it is time. Let's take a risk. Six damage is not bad, actually. What to do? Let's weaken this. Can I kill? Let's pull him back and do this. That went really well. I really want to break this position. Let's do it. Alright. Yeah, it seems like I'm taking risks, but the whole point is I'm just almost blitzkrieging my way in. And look at that, I destroyed it. That's really good. That's really good. I'm gonna protect my tank. Make it interesting if they decide to attack there. Hmm. Yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of this unit. With... yeah. Panzer 1 isn't that helpful, so I'll just use it. What do I do with my scout? Go here. Let's do it. Let's get aggressive. That's the thing, that's most of the mobility, I think. So I feel comfortable putting this here. Where's this guy going? Yep, I'm gonna bring artillery over, and it's gonna get really ugly for a lot of people. Bring my anti-tank gun up. So what I've been thinking about, I've been hyper-focused, break this. Now that I've broken it, and I've taken out quite a bit of the counterattack, I feel more comfortable getting hyper-aggressive. You know, the next thing is, I need to start forcing my way across the river. And I'm actually putting a Panzer 1 in this extremely vulnerable position. It might actually cause the AI to like shift units around to try to kill it. And because I have backing artillery, it might survive. And it keeps pressure off of my good units. These mountain units are really powerful, and I plan to use them to bully my way in. So the next order of business is going to be, I need to take this guy out and this artillery piece, and it opens the way to really do a lot of damage. What haven't I moved? Oh, this is good. Honestly, I'm going to attack.